Call of Duty is one of the biggest first-person shooter franchises in the world, has had a long run of success. How long can a franchise stay at the top of the hierarchy before falling into darkness? Has this franchise had its run with no sign of return to the golden age? What's up, everyone? Today I want to discuss the rise and fall of Call of Duty. And no, I'm not stating that the franchise is dead. I am only stating that the franchise is forever changing and falling from what OG Call of Duty fans once knew it as. Today, we're going to look at how Call of Duty has changed and innovated over the years. 2003, Activision releases the very first Call of Duty on PC. Call of Duty revolutionized the World War II first-person genre with immersive storytelling and online multiplayer. 2005, Call of Duty gains attraction by releasing alongside the Xbox 360. Call of Duty 3, although not received as well as the first two titles, introduced Treyarch Studios into the developing cycle of Call of Duty. It was in 2007 where the Call of Duty made the most impact on gamers. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare released, and not only did it shift the franchise from being a World War II era first-person shooter, but it changed online multiplayer for both the franchise and first-person shooters. The formula was unlike anything we had ever seen before, introducing us to a killstreak system, allowing players to call in UAV reconnaissance, airstrikes, and attack helicopters. But the game introduced us to a ranking system all the way up to level 55, and unlocking a prestige rank with 10 prestige ranks to unlock. Players could gain XP for objective-based game modes, and completing challenges available in the game. Call of Duty 4 alone brought in tons of attraction, while changing the formula for Call of Duty forever. Infinity Ward also introduced DLC multiplayer expansion, adding 4 new maps into the game. Treyarch released Call of Duty World at War in 2008, the fourth main World War II installment in the franchise. Featuring an amazing campaign, the multiplayer did feel like a lot of copy and paste of Modern Warfare in a World War II setting. The game also introduced us to a survival mode, Zombies, in which players could unlock after completing the campaign. Players were thrown into the map Nocturne Totem in a round-based game with unlimited waves. The player was given nothing but an M1911 pistol to start with, earning points to buy weapons to defend themselves in the coming waves. Zombies would be given 3 DLC maps following the success of Noct, along with multiplayer. 2009's Modern Warfare 2 would change the formula yet again, with the campaign continuing the beloved story from Modern Warfare. Multiplayer felt familiar to fans of COD 4 and World at War. MW2 had a large variety of challenges to complete for rank and weapon XP. Modern Warfare 2 also added in more camo challenges. Along with a large killstreak list for gamers to choose from, all sorts of weapons were made overpowered. With the rise of trickshotting, snipers were made so much easier for players to achieve this goal. The perks in multiplayer made for a very interesting time, even making explosive weapons overpowered. Infinity Ward even added in their own unique game mode, Spec Ops, a series of missions you could play alone or with friends with a ranking system for a fun challenge. Black Ops, Treyarch's third major installment, would shift the genre to a Cold War setting with an outstanding campaign. Multiplayer was toned down from Modern Warfare 2. Even snipers were nerfed with a terrible sway to prevent trickshotting. There were a lot less perks to choose from, unlike MW2. Black Ops introduced us to COD points achieved from winning game modes. COD points could be used to unlock attachments for weapons, and COD points could be used in wager matches for a chance to earn a load of COD points or lose them. We also saw the return of the beloved Zombies mode, introducing it throughout 4 DLC map packs through the lifecycle of Black Ops, introducing players to a season pass available through pre-ordering certain editions of Black Ops or a separate purchase, giving players access to all 4 DLC packs upon the release. Modern Warfare 3 would further expand upon the formula of Call of Duty multiplayer. With the campaign concluding the Modern Warfare trilogy, MW3's multiplayer was controversial and called a watered-down version of MW2, introducing players to a new point streak system, allowing players to now earn points towards kill streaks via completing objectives and objective-based game modes instead of kills. Death streaks weren't really changed from Modern Warfare 2, however, removing loads of death streaks we saw in MW2. MW3 had a unique elite membership, giving players access to rewards only attainable via the elite membership. Black Ops 2 launched in 2012, introducing players to a semi-futuristic environment taking place in 2025. The campaign followed the story from Black Ops. The campaign shifted throughout missions in the 80s, playing as Alex Mason, Alex's son David, in the year 2025. The campaign allowed players to create custom classes for each mission, unlocking weapons and a small variety of perks through beating missions. The campaign also had multiple endings unlocked through player choices and missions. Black Ops 2's multiplayer changed the formula yet again, introducing us to a pick 10 system, only allowing players to choose between 10 different items per class. Black Ops 2 further advanced the point streak system, switching the name to score streaks. Black Ops 2 was overall the most balanced multiplayer experience we had seen in a long time. We saw the return of zombies and and the Season Pass. By 2013, gamers were growing tired of yearly releases from Call of Duty, and very little changed to the formula. Nonetheless, Infinity Ward would release Call of Duty Ghosts, their first game outside of the Modern Warfare trilogy since 2005. Call of Duty Ghosts had a very modern setting with a very interesting campaign. Multiplayer felt very similar to the Modern Warfare multiplayers. Ghosts was criticized for the time to kill alongside the oddly large variety of perks. The formula just didn't seem to change in this game. Ghosts brought us a unique third mode, Extinction. Similar to zombies, players would fight hordes of aliens varying from different types of species. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Sledgehammer's first standalone game, changed everything we know about Call of Duty. It had a futuristic setting introducing jetpacks known as exosuits. The campaign, although received poorly, wasn't so bad, but mediocre and predictable. Multiplayer was a game changer, with exo movements allowing players to jetpack around maps, changing how we typically play Call of Duty. Upon the usual XP and camo grind, Advanced Warfare introduced us to supply drops obtained through challenges and microtransactions. Supply drops would grant players items varying from weapons to customizable cosmetics. Advanced Warfare was the first game to have 15 prestige levels compared to the usual 10 levels we were used to. Advanced Warfare was the first non-Treyarch game to have a zombies mode, and of course included DLC expansions. Black Ops 3 followed the futuristic setting and movement from Advanced Warfare. Although Black Ops 3 toned down the jetpack movement from AW, the campaign was a nightmare, taking place in 2065 in the fictional Second Cold War. It's not really worth playing. However, if you really wish to see how bad it is, take a chance at playing or just watch a video on it and you'll understand. Now, multiplayer, while similar to Advanced Warfare in previous titles, brought us the Blackjack system. The Blackjack system was made for supply drops and allowed players to obtain supply drops through challenges. Not only that, but you could unlock certain types of supply drops through challenges and events. Through the lifecycle of Black Ops 3, we saw weapons brought in alongside the usual map pack. These weapons could only be attained through supply drops. Zombies was a game changer. Not only was the storyline changing, but the maps were just amazing. We also saw the release of a 5th DLC, Zombies Chronicles, bringing back 8 classic maps from World at War, Black Ops, and Black Ops 2. Zombies also had a unique Gobblegum system added in. Gobblegums were achieved through XP or purchase, as they gave players perks to use in each Zombies map. Infinite Warfare was the final futuristic game in the franchise, taking place far into the future. The campaign was actually better than anyone had imagined. The environment was mainly space-oriented and kind of felt like a Halo clone. Multiplayer does the same as the previous 2 titles, with supply drops and weapon variants obtained through supply drops. We also saw Zombies, which was a controversial through the Zombies community. Infinite Warfare also dropped alongside Modern Warfare Remastered, a remake of the fan-favorite Call of Duty 4. The multiplayer, despite also having a supply drop system, reigns nostalgia for all Call of Duty fans. In 2017, Sledgehammer brought Call of Duty straight to its roots with Call of Duty World War II. The campaign wasn't great. Most just criticized how it was nothing like World at War, which I think was over the top. Although I'm not a fan of the campaign and didn't expect it to top World at War. The problem most people have with World War II was at launch, it was a disaster. Glitches popping up left and right throughout multiplayer. The headquarters system was broken. Personally, I didn't play the game until 2018, and at this time, it was fixed and I had a good time playing multiplayer. Although the game features supply drops, it didn't force them upon you like the previous 3 titles. Also, through contracts, supply drops are easily obtainable. Beyond the contracts are still changed weekly on the game, and you can obtain DLC weapons through contracts. This is the World War II I have experienced and fell in love with. Although it's not my all-time favorite COD, I have to admit, I spent a lot of time grinding this game. Now, Sledgehammer once again tried their hand at zombies, and the first map, the Final Reich, isn't that bad. It's a basic round-based map with an Easter egg. I liked the gritty environment because it was a lot like playing World at War or Black Ops for the first time, but it's not. The idea of this storyline was interesting, it truly was, and then the DLC maps dropped, and it was exo-zombies all over. Black Ops 4 was a major innovator for Call of Duty. Although it was received poorly by fans, Black Ops 4 had no campaign whatsoever. Instead, we got our usual multiplayer of classic maps brought back from previous games. Black Ops 4 really felt like Black Ops 3, just without the supply drops and jetpacks. The specialists are the same, with some new additions of course. There are several new weapons, but others have returned from Black Ops 3. There's one major thing that turned me away from Black Ops 4, and that is the game forces you to heal yourself. We've always had auto regen health in Call of Duty. For whatever reason, Black Ops 4 did not. I'm sure there are gamers that liked it, but personally, not my cup of tea. Black Ops 4 got rid of the Season Pass and instead added a Black Ops Pass, which is the first Battle Pass type subscription in Call of Duty, allowing players to unlock new weapons and cosmetics this way instead of supply drops. We also got our first Battle Royale mode, Blackout, obtainable only through purchasing the Black Ops Pass. I personally never took interest in Blackout, but I heard mixed reviews, so I'm not going to sit here and critique on it. Zombies made a comeback, and it was by far the most mixed zombies I had seen since Black Ops 2. Black Ops 4 Zombies added 2 different storylines, being the new Chaos story following a series of new characters, and the Ether story, which continues the story from Black Ops 3. Throughout the lifecycle of Black Ops 4, we got several remade maps for the Ether story, being every map, not including in Zombies Chronicles. In 2019, Modern Warfare got a reboot. Yep, now we have 2 Modern Warfare lines, just to confuse the hell out of everyone. So this game features a rebooted story for the campaign, which is actually really good, and one of my favorites since Black Ops 2. The multiplayer really changes things. There's a whole new system known as skill-based matchmaking, in which players join a game and play through a match and are automatically removed from the lobby and put into a different lobby, based on how well they performed in the match. I'm not a huge fan of skill-based matchmaking, but it never stopped me from enjoying the multiplayer. We are introduced to yet another battle pass, which can grant you cosmetics and weapon variants. I'd also like to note that there are updates with seasons throughout the life cycle, which adds maps, skins, etc. to the game. The game also features a Spec Ops mode, similar to Spec Ops from MW2 and 3, which I never really played. But we also got a Warzone, a new Battle Royale mode, and honestly, not being a fan of Battle Royale, I enjoyed. Black Ops Cold War was released in 2020 to fans' surprise due to the ongoing pandemic. Black Ops Cold War takes place in between the events of BO1 and 2. I liked the campaign, it added multiple endings, kinda like BO2. There were optional side objectives you could do throughout the campaign, which unfortunately do not lead to multiple endings. Multiplayer is similar to MW 2019, with skill-based matchmaking. Honestly, I love multiplayer because it felt like Black Ops 1. Battle Pass returns, and so does Warzone with a whole new map added in for Cold War. Zombies makes a comeback, and after Black Ops 4, I gotta say I liked Cold War Zombies, although the system was a little odd. The system in Cold War adds tons of new perks. You now earn ether crystals through doing certain objectives, and your ether crystals allow you to upgrade Coca-Cola machines for different pros through 5 levels of upgrades. You can also have ether abilities. These ether abilities are similar to Gobagums, but there's not as many. You can upgrade these abilities with crystals as well. And you can also upgrade weapons alongside abilities you can add to your weapons through Pack-a-Punch, but it doesn't upgrade your weapon. The new storyline was great, but it's not terrible like we saw in the Chaos story from BO4. There was even an open-world objective-based map added to Cold War, known as Outbreak, which was received tons of mixed opinions. I'm not the biggest fan of Outbreak, but I liked it because it was different and I respected it. But I'm an OG fan since BO2, and I've always preferred round-based zombies. Sledgehammer made another return to World War II with Call of Duty Vanguard. I played the first mission of the campaign, which takes place in a fictional timeline after the events of World War II, and I never got past the first mission. Multiplayer is everything we played through MW 2019 and Black Ops Cold War. There's just nothing Vanguard really added to multiplayer that I enjoyed compared to Cold War and MW 2019. Playing Vanguard just felt like I was playing Call of Duty World War II with the MW 2019 mechanics. Sledgehammer tried their hand once again with zombies with the help of Treyarch, so you'd think they'd stand half a chance seeing on how Vanguard Zombies was teased to be the prequel storyline to Cold War. But you thought wrong. Vanguard Zombies is all objective-based maps. Yep, I said it. Shi No Numa Remake is the only round-based map, and yet still has objectives for you to follow. I tried Durafang and Shi No Numa. I just could not get into Vanguard Zombies, and really, neither could most of Zombies community members. There was a 4th map, the Archon, which is literally a reskin of the map Terra Maledicta. But I did notice one thing. At this point, objective-based zombies is now a whole new category of zombies, and there is now players that started playing these objective-based maps and enjoyed them, and there's certainly a fanbase for them. So moving forward, we will receive more maps like this. I just hope we don't see Vanguard happen again. Finally, we have Modern Warfare 2, the sequel to MW 2019's Modern Warfare. I still haven't beaten the campaign for this game, and I really want to. Multiplayer hasn't changed much. It's skill-based. However, there is a new challenge system for unlocking weapons. Never was a huge fan of this system. At launch, I enjoyed playing Modern Warfare 2. However, throughout Season 2 and 3, I had stopped playing, and by Season 4, I gave the game a second chance, and I could say, after all this time, I did enjoy playing MW2 Season 4. So, there's a breakdown of all the games, and what they did to innovate Call of Duty. For the most, the golden age ended in 2012, after Black Ops 2, and I get that. However, there have been tons of newcomers since then. Ghosts had a bad reputation for its multiplayer, but I have seen gamers gone back to Ghosts and have stated that it wasn't that bad. The futuristic games was definitely one of the biggest shifts in the franchise, and I can honestly say I enjoyed Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3. I wasn't a big fan of supply drops, and I could see how it would make some turn their backs on the franchise. I can also see how the jetpacks push players away. I had a lot of fun personally on those 2 games. It was, however, run dry with Infinite Warfare. I think the biggest problem not only Call of Duty has, but games as a whole, is live service games. The problem with live service is developers can release a game that is broken and full of glitches and just patch these issues with updates. Some of these glitches go to ruin games for people. The 725 in MW 2019, for example, was the most broken shotgun in the Call of Duty since probably the Rangers in MW2 2009, and it was patched early on, yet it still managed to dominate throughout the lifecycle of Modern Warfare. We've seen live service ruin tons of games, and I'm awaiting the day a new trend comes along and squashes live service. Furthermore, I think one of the biggest things people don't focus on, especially fans of the game since the early days, is that Call of Duty is changing. And yes, it has gone a long way since 2007, and I'm sure tons of fans would love to see a Call of Duty launch that plays like the old games. But as of now, we're just gonna have to adapt to these new games.